Hey guys, I'm doing a bit of a review here, just like the start of probably a ongoing track record in review for Bryan Bottarelli's Catalyst Cashouts Live, which is a new service that Bryan's doing, which is really cool. And I just did an interview with him. I'll leave a link in the description below. I think the interview went really well. If you just look past the fact that I desperately needed a haircut, I think you'll enjoy the video. I think Bryan really kind of filled in a lot of the gaps that people haven't really, like, didn't really understand what the service was about. And that's understandable because it's a very new service, and I think it's going to be very promising, is what I think. So I started off basically writing this sort of core article. It's going to also serve as a track record as well. At the moment, though, as of today, which is the 7th of April, there isn't any trades to show you that are real live trades that I've done. And so I was going to start off this series just by kind of giving an outline, making sure that everybody knows what to expect from Bryan Bottarelli's Catalyst Cashouts Live, and exactly what you get with it and how much it costs and all this sort of stuff. So I'll leave a link to this core review article in the description below, and you can go and check it out in your own time. But basically, the simple, concise way to say this is basically that Bryan Bottarelli has started this new options trading service where he buys a call and a put simultaneously, or strangle as it's known. And basically, he's playing these government report economic events that have really annoyed a lot of people over the last few years, where basically a government report will come out often on Wednesdays, sometimes on Fridays, and basically will screw up your calls if you're long, the day before, or if you've got puts that will go the other way, and people get very irritated. And a lot of people have been sitting on the sidelines and just ignoring these reports because, like, being like, okay, I'm not trading this week until I see what the FOMC is, or the CPI results or whatever. And so what Bryan's done is he's taken a strategy which is fairly novel, although not completely new. Like, there's people that have been playing these types of strategies for a long time, but he's basically doing a strangle, so just buying a call and a put, nothing exotic really in any way. You just hit buy call and buy the put depending on what he suggests. And the service is really simple. It's basically a live stream every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's usually going to be an overnight trade. It's definitely always going to be an overnight trade, but it may not be on the Wednesday, right? It may be on the Wednesday and then on the Thursday, because the results often come out on Fridays as well. So tentatively, it's based on the Tuesday, like you buy on the Tuesday afternoon and hold into Wednesday. And so, like, for example, this week that's coming up, we have CPI and PPI on like Wednesday and Thursday. I think we also have FOMC on Wednesday as well. And so there'll be a trade. The very first trade for the service will be on Tuesday this coming week. And the cool thing is they have backtested a lot of the data on this. And one of the best ones is one called Jolt, and we'll get into that in a little bit. The problem is with their marketing material, they made it sound like you only get one a month because Jolt only comes out once a month. But that's not true. You get one a week using these strangles. And it's pretty cool. They've got an 84% win rate on these trades with an average win percentage of 114%. And so in the interview that I did with Bryan, we talked a little bit about how to manage these trades, but that'll become more clear as the service starts to progress. If you want to go and check out his sales webinar, it's also on this page, or the order form, which is here. It's also going to always link to the lowest possible price, which is only $179 for a year. So really low cost service, really nice. And you can get more details on this page too, and also purchase it obviously from that page. And so let's see where we're at. So if you join, by the way, I do have a Discord channel. So in my Sidekick Traders Discord, I have got a cashless cashouts channel now. So all you have to do is send me proof, your confirmation email basically, to stockalertsreviewed@protonmail.com. I'll leave a link in the description. Make sure you do that if you buy this service, and you can join the discussions that we'll have in here. There's lots of people already joining and taking part in our Discord for that. So it's like an unofficial sort of related to their service Discord. So this article at the moment, I don't have a lot. I have a link to the interview with Bryan. Again, I do think that went quite well, so definitely check that out. I had a lot of positive feedback on that. Bryan's mostly known for his war room trading service. That's a more expensive back-end product though. It's about $2,000. It's good, I'm in that one too, but I'm more excited about this lower cost Cashouts Live at the moment. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. By the way, if you haven't checked out Nate Bear's service, there's also a link to his one, which is similar to this, except it's not. It's a totally different strategy, but the premise of how the structure of the trading service is the same. So it'll be one set time and day a week, with the idea of one ticker. For the Catalyst cash outs, it's just SPY that we're trading. It's just the market overall, SPY. With Nate Bear, it's different tickers and things. So. But it's a similar, like they had so much success with Nate Bear's style that they're going to go with a similar style for this particular Catalyst Cash Outs Live. And so you don't have to be on the live stream at 2 p.m. I think it'll help a lot, especially early on, for people to understand these trades and to be able to ask them questions, because you're able to do that as far as I know. And so I think early on it will be very beneficial to be on these calls. But they email the trades out, and they have an app as well. You can also get this stuff on. So it's not like you have to be, if you're at work, you don't have to be on the call. But I think it'll be very helpful, especially early on, as we get going with this service. And so, yeah, Kareem from the War Room is also joining him. So you really get two people for the price of one. Kareem's actually really good at doing this type of stuff. So I'm excited to see what he has to say, as well as Bryan. Bryan seems to be kind of more the face of these things. So I think both of them were co-founders of Monument Traders Alliance, though. Anyway, this is where I'm going to put the results as they come in. At the moment, all I have is what they've provided, so I'm going to go through a little bit of that today. And then, of course, if you check back, I'll be doing weekly reviews of the trades, so you guys can see like what I thought of them, what they were, how they worked out, and all that good stuff. So it'll all be in here once things get going. So. Again, the market focuses on this JOLTS, so they even call it JOLTS overnight trades, so that it's Catalyst Cash Outs Live, easy for me to say. JOLTS overnight trades, and so everybody immediately thinks it's just one trade, because they don't make it clear. And actually, in an interview, or I think maybe in the pre-interview talk with Bryan, actually said you need to make this more clear, that JOLTS has the best results out of these government reports from backtesting, but it's not the only thing that they're trading by any means. So that's once a month, but it's not the only thing these guys trades. And JOLTS is basically an acronym for Job Openings and Labour Turnover Survey. And again, like I said, people think it's the only thing that we trade in the service. It's not. It's just the one that has the best backtesting results, which I'll show you down here. I think I included it. Like I said, we're doing PPI and CPI as well. They're usually the most likely ones to happen, like from the Tuesday to the Wednesday, right? So let me show you some stuff here. I think they've done some backtesting. It's not clear how much of this is real trades. I know that they have traded some of these in the War Room, as far as I know, but I might be wrong about that, so don't quote me. I know at least this is probably backtest results. And so they have the release dates and the strangle entry dates, SPY close, strangle return, and strangle strikes. So you can look down the strangle returns here. And look how awesome this is. The losses are fairly small, -6%, -30%. And the wins are huge, like 252%, 326%, 383%. The wins are clearly much more frequent and much higher than the losses. So when you include all the losses and all the wins, it gives you an average that you'll make 114% per trade, which is really cool. So that was really nice. So that's the JOLT. So if you were to be like, really disciplined about this, you might want to just put a bit more money into the JOLTS reports than you would with the other ones, right? So that would give you kind of maybe more of an edge, but it doesn't mean that this is going to continue like this. So perhaps the CPI or the PPI is going to start moving the markets more. Because with these trades, with these call-put combos, where you buy for the same expiration, 0 DTE, so that's one thing, is because it's overnight, these calls and puts expire the very next day. So I call that 1 DTE, but a lot of people say if it's 24 hours or so, they could be considered 0 DTE because it's only 24 hours. I don't agree. I think it's 1 DTE, but who cares? It's just, it's just potatoes or potatoes, so however you say it. I don't think anybody calls them potatoes, though, but anyway. So there are lots of other things, like the ADP National Employment Report. They did backtesting on that. Here's the ADP stuff. It wasn't quite as good, but it's still really good. The winners were pretty big. The losers are pretty small. Again, -8%, -30%. Mostly winners. Pretty nice. And these are once a month as well. And so you can see these are worth trading for sure according to the back tests on those. And they do the PPI and CPI and things as well. I haven't included them here. If you want more information, I can try and give that to you. You'd have to email me though, and I can try and get you all of the backtest results. And so, again, my email's always in the description below these days because people want to reach out. So like I said, it's a strangle. The column puts with different strike prices on the same underlying asset. In this case, it's SPY. Same expiration dates. This is a strangle trades. Don't be put off by this. It's just very easy. So here's an example. So assuming the SPY, that's what this is trading at $522 per share. And then a new JOLTS report that we just talked about is scheduled for release on March 6th. So to leverage both the win the both ways trade, so the idea is because you have a call and a put, you can win if there's a big move up or a big move down. So you don't have to be scared that the market might tank or rip to the upside. You're covered both ways. As long as it makes a big move either way, then you won't lose out on this trade. You're most likely going to win, which is really cool. So one way to play this would be that you buy calls that are just $1 above the current price. So 523 calls expiring the next day, 169 per share. So that's 169 for a contract. So you're just doing one contract. And then you buy the 521 puts, which is slightly below the current price, expiring the next day, or the same day even, at 0.74. I think in this case it's 0.7. Looks like, yeah. So this is the same day, but like the same thing applies. It's just, this would be March 5th, right? And so they cost you $74 per contract. So you're in for a total cost of $243 for the strangle. So you can do this with very small amounts of money, which is really cool. You don't have to have thousands of dollars to be able to do this. You can start off with just a few $100s, which is nice. So with this, you're positioned to basically profit regardless of the JOLTS report outcome, which is really cool. I think that's exciting stuff. So even if the JOLTS report, say, came out with low unemployment and rising wages, causing the SPY ETF to surge to 532, which is 2% gain, it's a big move. In this scenario, the calls are now worth $944, which yields a $700 profit, because the puts would expire worthless, but the calls are worth so much more that this has resulted in 288% gains on your initial investment, which was only... let's see, it was only $243 for the whole strangle, and now you have $701, so pretty cool. So this is where the strangle really comes into play. This is able to capture these, instead of like worrying like, oh, I'm going to bet that the market goes up tomorrow because, you know, the government's going to report better, you know, lower inflation than expected, so the market's going to rally or tank. You know, you don't have to guess. You've got it covered both ways. The only way you lose on these is if nothing really happens. Then both the calls and the puts will start to decay rapidly because they're 0 DTE contracts or 1 DTE contracts, and so you want to get out quickly so that you don't end up losing, you know, the entire position. And that's where the trade plan that Bryan is going to outline comes in every Tuesday, where he outlines what you should do in order to manage this trade as best as possible. So like I said, this is the very first of very many. I'm anticipating very many sort of reviews and reports and updates on the track record and things of this new Catalyst cash out service. I love it. I think it's worth the cost. I can tell it's going to be good without even seeing the first trade yet. I know this is going to be good. Talking to Bryan, he's like one of the most transparent gurus. I hate that word guru, but one of the most transparent guys you'll find out there, and he really is excited about this service. And I think that's important, because if the guru's really into it, then you're going to really find that they dedicate their time and energy. And it's not going to take them a lot of time and energy because they're only doing it once a week. So you'll get somebody who's really, you know, like, this is going to be a great trade, let's do this. And I think it's going to be good. So have a read through the page here. You can see everything I just talked about. You get a bunch of bonus reports and all this type of stuff as well. One of the best things about these guys, this Monument Traders Alliance group, is that same as with Nate Berry, you basically get a 365-day, no risk, no questions asked, 100% money back guarantee. So if you try this for a month, maybe paper trade it for a month, and you don't like it, they give you your money back regardless. And so I think that's very unusual in this industry. And I think that's what seals the deal for a lot of people on this. That combined with a high quality service and the fact that it's only $179 in the first place makes this like an irresistible deal in my opinion. And so I'm a member now, and really excited about this going forward. So yeah, come and check it out. Remember, if you do join, email me. I'll add you to our chat channel. You can see people are already starting to post what the economic calendars are and when FOMC is, and start to talk in general about how the service is going to go. As normal, like, you'll find all the links that I've talked about in the description below, and I hope you guys sign up for the service if you haven't already. If you have, make sure you come and join us in my unofficial, unrelated Discord, where we're going to all talk about it. All you need to do is show me that you are actually a paying member, because obviously we're going to be giving out, well, people are going to be talking about the trades, and that's obviously means you've got to be a paid member in order to join. And I make sure that everybody who joins is a paid up member, so that we're not just giving away free picks for these guys. Alright, hopefully that's helpful, and I'll talk to you in the next video.